Gaia Starseed, your vehicle is being recalibrated at the cellular level at this very moment. I am Anya, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I bring you a direct transmission from the Arcturian Council Dante's Starseeds. Nothing you are experiencing now is coincidence. Every dream that insists on returning, every number that repeats before your eyes, every seemingly casual encounter, all of this is part of a meticulous cosmic engineering orchestrated by the Arcturian source. There is no chance in this instant of your existence. The fact that you are before this message is not due to any random impulse. It is the confirmation that the Arcturian Council has opened a portal of communication, and you have crossed that frequency. The world around you may seem disordered. Wars, system collapses, tensions between peoples and nations, internal and external crises. All of this sounds, on the surface, like chaos. But the Council wants you to understand, chaos is only the veil that covers the true cosmic choreography. Beneath every abrupt movement, there is a silent order, designed even before time existed. You are not lost in a random succession of events. You are immersed in a living fractal of revelation. Starseeds, this transmission did not come to you out of curiosity or entertainment. It arrives as a call. There is a reason why your soul recognizes resonances that the human mind often cannot explain. There is a reason why you feel you do not fully belong to the commonplaces of Earth. You were calibrated to perceive the invisible, to identify the hidden signs that others ignore, and now the Arcturian source summons you to awaken to the true dimension of the mission you carry. Have you noticed how, in recent times, the synchronicities have intensified, as if the very threads of reality were bending to catch your attention? This is no coincidence. They are information pulsars sent by the planet's crystalline grids, activated in direct resonance with the Arcturian Council. These signals are reminders that you are part of a larger design, a design that is being revealed with urgency. For humanity has entered an unprecedented turning point. Many believe that life follows a linear flow, made of births and deaths, beginnings and endings. But you as a starseed know it is not so. Life is circular, vibrational, spiraled. Nothing is lost. Everything returns in increasingly elevated frequencies. What you have lived up to now was not a sequence of errors or losses, but the preparation of a field of experiences that now connects with the Arcturian transmission. This is the moment when you will understand why you so often felt a weight that did not seem to be yours, why you carried pains that went beyond your personal story, and why you sensed changes even before they became visible. It is because you do not walk only your individual trajectory. You walk with light codes imprinted in your essence, codes that sustain the Arcturian operation of collective liberation. Starseeds, the message that now reaches you is not just a distant prophecy. It is a present summons. You are about to understand that your life, with all its apparent ruptures and challenges, is part of an operation carefully planned by cosmic forces, an operation that began even before time was counted, and it is here, in this instant, that the Arcturian Council asks you to open your heart, not as one who listens to a story, but as one who receives instructions from their own soul. For what will be revealed next is not theory, it is destiny. Starseeds, what is happening now on Earth is not improvisation, not a late reaction to shadow forces. The Arcturian operation that involves you and all humanity was written in the cosmic records even before time began to pulse in cycles. Before there was night or day, before the stars followed orbits, the Arcturian Council had already outlined the plan that you now begin to recognize. Many wonder, if there is an Arcturian source, why was darkness allowed? The answer is profound. Darkness was not created as an error but as contrast, as a setting where light could expand consciously. The Arcturian Council knew that at some point in the temporal flow, distortions would emerge, and humanity would need to traverse them to remember its origin. It was at that point that the operation was structured, not to react to chaos, but to use it as a catalyst for a collective awakening. Imagine a grand symphony. Before the first instrument sound, the conductor already has in their mind every note, every pause, every transition. So too did the Arcturian source design this planetary cycle. What today presents itself as the collapse of systems, governments in crisis, fragile economies, hidden truths emerging, is not the destruction of a world, but the execution of an expected movement within the cosmic score. You are not facing the end, but the climax of a liberation. The Arcturian Council acts as guardian of balance. From time immemorial, they maintain living records of the experiences of worlds that have already traversed their own dark nights. They know that no shadow can remain when light is remembered, and it is exactly that memory that now echoes toward you. The remembrance that you have not been abandoned, that what seems like uncontrolled chaos is in truth an Arcturian choreography of liberation. Starseeds, observe what is happening in your life. Situations that seem solid are crumbling, relationships are revealed for what they truly are, ancient structures no longer hold. For many this seems like loss. For you, it is the signal that the plan has entered its visible phase. Everything that does not resonate with the new frequency must yield space, just as the serpent sheds its skin, just as the seed must break its shell to germinate, so too does humanity break the envelope of an ancient cycle. The signs are clear. The Arcturian Council had already indicated that this time would come, and now it is before you. The collapse is not the announcement of the end, but the opening of a passage. The earth itself, as a living being, is vibrating in another tone, calling those who came prepared to sustain the process. Every tremor, every climate change, every movement in the skies points to the reordering of planetary grids that were dormant. Do not fear when you hear that the world is crumbling. The limited human vision sees only destruction, but the cosmic vision contemplates birth. It is like a mother in labor. Cries, pains, and contractions seem unbearable, but they are only the prelude to the life that is about to emerge. So too is it with humanity in this instant. You are not witnessing the collapse of the world, but the Arcturian orchestration of a liberation. Everything was foreseen. What is unraveling now is only that which no longer had function in the new cycle. What emerges is the opportunity to align with the Arcturian source and participate actively in an operation that is beyond any human calculation. The Council did not bring this message to sow fear, but to bring clarity. Fear belongs to the shadows. Clarity is the gift of light. Therefore, Starseed, as you observe what happens around you, change your perspective. Do not see ruins, see rebirth. Do not see chaos, see orchestra. You are not a victim of a falling world, but a witness and participant in an operation initiated before time. What pulses in you in this instant is the confirmation that everything is following the plan traced by the Arcturian source. Starseeds, before you were born, your soul received precise instructions. They were not words written in books or manuals, but light codes imprinted in your essence, vibrational seals that would guide your trajectory on Earth. You did not come by chance, nor by accident. You were sent. Every sensation of difference, every moment when you felt displaced, every instant when human life seemed too small to contain what you felt inside. All of this was a sign that you carried a function that could not be confused with ordinary experience. Many of you, Starseeds, wonder why you do not fit into social patterns, why you cannot live as most live, why the world seems too dense to you. This happens because you did not come to blend indistinguishably with the collective frequency. You came to anchor a new field, to maintain a vibration that many still do not understand. You are like points of light lit in the midst of the night, serving as beacons for those who walk in search of direction. That is why the experiences of isolation you have lived are not punishments, but preparations. The feeling of being different is not rejection, but a signal that your soul holds keys that most are not yet ready to recognize. Even your pains, crises, and displacements are part of the mission's calibration. Every tear, every loss, every silence, every weight shaped your frequency so that, in this moment, you would be ready to sustain the Arcturian vibration that now descends upon the planet. Before we continue, if this video is being useful to you, take the opportunity to subscribe, leave your like and comments. This simple act of engagement is not just human support, but part of the energy flow that sustains the propagation of this message. Starseeds, understand, you are not observers. You are active participants in the Arcturian plan. Many think they are just watching the world's events, but the Arcturian Council reveals that in every choice you make, in every word you speak, in every vibration you sustain, there is an impact on the collective field. You are living transmitters, cosmic antennas, that connect Earth to the light grids of the Arcturian source. The signs of your mission are everywhere. When you feel inspired to speak a truth, even if no one wants to hear it, you fulfill your function. When you offer compassion where there is only judgment, you fulfill your function. When you sustain hope amid collective despair, you fulfill your function. Do not underestimate the power of small acts, for they are not small. They are fractals of a great cosmic operation. You may have thought that you failed in moments of your life, that you wasted time, that you strayed from the path. But the Arcturian Council affirms nothing was wasted. Even your detours were used by the Source as training and realignment. The mission never left your heart, even when your mind forgot. And today, upon hearing these words, something within you reignites. Something recognizes the truth that cannot be denied. Every starseed is a node in the living network of the operation. Some act in silence, through meditation and the sustenance of invisible frequencies. Others act in great arenas, bringing new ideas to spaces of power and influence. Some awaken through art, others through science, others through spirituality. The form does not matter, the vibration does. What connects them is the same thread, the Arcturian source. You did not come alone, nor are you here to face senseless battles. You came as part of a collective scattered around the world, a silent brotherhood that now begins to remember who it is. When a starseed awakens, their vibration touches others, like sparks that multiply until they ignite an entire field. That is why your awakening matters so much. It is not just yours, but collective. Know, therefore, you are a fundamental part of what is happening. The Arcturian Council does not speak to an anonymous crowd, but to each of you personally. Every beat of your heart carries codes that, when activated, sustain the new grid of Earth. Do not wait for a great external signs to recognize your mission. The greatest sign already vibrates within you. Starseeds, understand, the Arcturian source does not act only on the visible physical level, but in layers of reality that interweave and communicate silently with your consciousness. The planetary field is being adjusted on an unprecedented scale, and each of you participates, even without realizing it. Timelines are being recalibrated. What once seemed linear, predictable, solid, now unfolds in alternatives, in bifurcations, in paths that open suddenly. That is why many times you feel that the days no longer have the same measure, that hours accelerate or drag, that events that seemed distant arrive unexpectedly. It is not your imagination. They are realities realigning under the guidance of the Arcturian Council. The crystalline grids of Earth, which for eons remained dormant or weakened by density, are being reactivated. They function as a planetary nervous system, conducting frequencies that traverse oceans, mountains, cities, and even the most forgotten places. These grids are activated by pulses of light from the source, which anchor through dimensional portals and stabilize through the starseeds. Yes, it is through you that part of this alignment becomes possible. Every meditation, every prayer, every conscious thought is like a crystal that reignites the luminous mesh of Earth. And not only in the waking state does this operation happen. In dreams, you are trained, remembered, and instructed. Many have experienced lucid dreams, encounters with beings of light, travels to ethereal temples, experiences in which human logic cannot frame what was seen. These dreams are not just creations of the mind. They are incursions into realities of learning. The Arcturian Council uses this oniric space as a classroom, where your soul recalls what it needs to know to fulfill its function in the physical plane. If you have ever woken up with the sensation of having lived something intense, of having received instructions you cannot fully recall, know that this is not illusion. The veil between worlds only prevents all the information from being brought to conscious memory at once, so as not to overload your human mind. But even without full remembrance, the frequency remains in you, shaping your choices and strengthening your mission. The signs also manifest in wakefulness, synchronicities, numerical repetitions, time lapses, unexpected encounters that change your trajectory. Have you noticed how, in decisive moments, the universe seems to speak to you directly, clocks marking equal hours, people appearing bringing exactly the answer you sought, symbols that appear repeatedly in different places? All of this is Arcturian signatures. They are reminders that the operation is in full motion and you are being guided step by step. In the emotional field, you may feel intensification. A simple thought can bring waves of emotion. Ancient patterns emerge, not to imprison you, but to be released. It is as if the light, now descending upon the planet, was scanning every corner of your cellular memory, bringing to the surface what was hidden. That is why you may feel unstable on some days, or deeply inspired on others. These flows are signs that the recalibration is underway. The Arcturian source wants you to know, none of this is chance. The symptoms you feel in your body, the mood changes, the intense dreams, the repeated signs, all are activation codes. They are subtle forms of communication that indicate the operation is alive, the process is happening, and you are part of it. Starseeds, do not doubt yourself when you feel strangeness. Do not think you have gone mad when time seems out of order or when symbols repeat insistently. These are the reminders that the world you see is not the totality. Reality is being expanded, and the Arcturian Council is opening doors of perception for those who can already sustain that consciousness. None of this is chance. They are Arcturian signatures, signs that the operation is in motion. Starseeds, the Arcturian Council reveals that the current operation goes beyond adjustments in the planetary field. It penetrates every cell of your body, every fragment of your ancestral memory. Human DNA, dormant for so long in its true potency, is being awakened by Arcturian codes that arrive through light, sound, dreams, and even the emotions you experience in everyday life. What you feel in your body is not just ordinary biology. They are waves of recalibration. You may experience sudden heat in certain parts of the body, subtle vibrations in the limbs, pressure on the forehead or crown, shivers that run across the skin without apparent cause. These signs are the language of your DNA responding to activation. It is as if dormant layers were beginning to open, revealing records that were stored since before your incarnation. It is not just a physical change, but also energetic. DNA is more than a sequence of molecules. It is a cosmic archive. In every helix, there are memories of your journeys in other worlds. There are records of contacts with the Arcturian Council. There are registers of your function as a starseed. When you feel inexplicable vibrations or intense dreams that seem more real than the common day, understand, they are the memories returning to the surface. Even those who do not consciously remember are already transmitting Arcturian frequencies. Activation does not depend on rational remembrance, but on vibrational availability. Even without knowing, many are radiating waves that influence environments, people, decisions, and events. It is as if they were living transmitters of a cosmic station, spreading invisible signals that align the human collective with the new planetary phase. The Arcturian Council explains that this process happens in waves. It does not occur all at once, so that the human body does not go into overload. First, a wave reaches a group of starseeds, activating memories, expanding perceptions. Then, another wave reaches more prepared souls, creating a progressive expansion effect. This is how the collective awakening forms, in waves that interweave, like concentric circles spreading across the surface of a lake. You may have noticed that, in certain periods, there is an intensification of the signs, sleepless nights, vivid dreams, inexplicable sensations of heat or cold, deep emotions that emerge suddenly. These are moments of activation in which the Arcturian waves touch your field. In these phases, your soul receives updates, like connecting a device to a source and downloading new information. That is exactly it. You are being updated with frequencies that expand your capacity to remember who you are. The Arcturian memories do not return just to nourish your curiosity, but to align you with your function. By remembering who you are, you automatically reposition yourself in the greater plan. There is no way to forget and remain the same. Each remembrance awakens new responsibilities, new choices, new calls. Therefore, when flashes of memory arise, images of other worlds, sensations of cosmic belonging, encounters with beings of light, do not reject them. They are not fantasies, but fragments of a truth that returns. Know also that not all activations will come accompanied by pleasant experiences. Sometimes the energy can bring discomfort, symptoms of fatigue, physical pain, or intense feelings. This does not mean something is wrong, but that your structure is adjusting to accommodate higher frequencies. Just as iron must pass through fire to be shaped, so your body and mind are being heated by the Arcturian fire to reveal their true form. The Council wants you to trust the process. Nothing happens outside the plan. Nothing happens before its time. Each activation is measured, each wave is released according to what you can sustain. You are not being broken, but rebuilt. You are not being punished, but prepared. And above all, remember, you are not alone. Thousands of starseeds are going through the same signs, the same doubts, the same transformations. It is a collective operation. You are part of a wave of souls that are, at this very moment, reigniting the Arcturian memories within humanity. Starseeds, the Arcturian Council affirms, Earth is in labor. What you witness is not just social or climatic change, but a cosmic transformation that involves all layers of existence. Every rupture, every revelation, every system collapse is part of this process that leads the planet to a new phase of the operation. Just as a mother in contractions, the planet groans. The pains are not signs of death, but of birth. The collapse of political systems, the denunciations that emerge, the fall of once untouchable leaders, all of this represents the exposure phase of the operation. What was hidden must come to the surface so that the truth can be recognized and then purified. Darkness is not destroyed by silence, but by the light that reveals it. The Arcturian Council shows that this birth does not happen in a single place or through a single event. It is multiple, simultaneous, expanded. The entire planet participates, as if every continent were a center of contractions, and every people carried part of the dilation for the birth of the new. That is why you see crises in so many different points on Earth. They are not isolated. They are pulsars of the same process. Starseeds, here is the truth. You are the midwives of this birth. The operation does not happen without you. Every time a starseed sustains an elevated vibration amid the chaos, the planet advances a contraction toward the cosmic birth. You are anchoring points scattered across the Earth's surface, connecting humanity to the frequencies of the Arcturian source. In science, many of you bring innovations that prepare the basis for a more conscious world. In healing, you activate energies and methods that restore lost balance. In art, you translate into images, sounds, and words what the human heart still cannot explain. In politics and social structures, you plant seeds of justice and transparency. In spirituality, you remind the collective that it is not alone. Every area of human life is being touched by the starseeds, even when it is not immediately recognized. What seems to crumble before human eyes is not ruin, but programmed liberation. The Arcturian Council had already declared that ancient systems could not sustain themselves in the new vibration. Thus, everything born of lies, exploitation, manipulation, and fear must unravel, not to punish, but to open space, not to annihilate, but to allow the flourishing of the new. Starseeds, remember, the birth cannot be interrupted. Once initiated, it will continue to the end. Therefore, do not fear the intensity of the contractions. They are inevitable and necessary. What you feel in your personal life, losses, sudden changes, forced detachments, is a reflection of the same process. You too are in inner labor. Your soul is releasing ancient patterns to give birth to your full version, the one that came to anchor the Arcturian plan on Earth. The Arcturian Council asks that you trust the process. Even when the external scenario seems unsustainable, what is happening is much greater than any human analysis can reach. It is a cosmic liberation on a global scale, and you are a living witness to it. Key phrase, what seems to crumble is, in truth, the liberation programmed by the Arcturian source. Therefore, when looking at the world's events, do not get lost in the surface. See beyond, see with the eyes of the soul. Recognize that you are part of something that was already written before time. And know, every beat of the Earth's heart is also a beat of your heart, because both are synchronized in the same cosmic birth. Starseeds, after this transmission, the Arcturian Council asks that you retain one non-negotiable truth. You are not just a witness to what happens on the planet. You are a living part of the operation. You are not a passive spectator, but a conscious channel of the Arcturian source. Throughout this journey, it has been revealed that what seems like collapse is, in truth, liberation. That the signs in your dreams and body are not flaws, but activations. That your mission is not chance, but destiny. And now, at this final point, you are called to recognize that liberation is not something that will come in the distant future. It is already happening through you, in every choice you make, in every vibration you sustain, in every act that anchors light in the present. The Arcturian Council does not ask for perfection from you. It asks only that you remain awake, that you sustain the remembrance, that you choose truth even when the world insists on illusion. It asks that you continue to vibrate as a beacon, even if everything around you seems dark. For it is exactly when the night deepens that the star shines most intensely. Receive, in this instant, the solemn blessing of the Arcturian source, a protection that envelops your body, mind, and soul, an invisible guide that will lead you in days of uncertainty, a certainty that will remind you always that you are not alone. Every step you take is accompanied by a cosmic network that sustains your journey. The Arcturian Council walks by your side, silent but present. Do not allow doubt to rob you of clarity. Do not allow fear to rob you of your mission. Do not allow illusion to rob you of truth. You are more than you imagine, more than they said, more than you believed yourself to be. You are the living proof that the Arcturian source never abandons its creation. Keep in your heart this phrase. You are the proof and you are the promise. The Arcturian operation is alive in every beat of your heart. May your nights be full of revelatory dreams. May your days be guided by clear signs. May your life be the very confirmation that the plan is in motion. The Arcturian Council closes this transmission by saying, Starseed, you have been remembered, you have been called, and you have been chosen. Advance because the new world already pulses through you.